Bianca Chanel Green was born on March 4, 1987, in Austin, Texas, and was affectionately known as Bebe. Bianca had many siblings, but her father was incarcerated, and her mother was abusive and frequently in and out of prison. In one particular traumatic incident, her mother broke her younger sister's collarbone, leading to all 5 children being placed in the care of their grandmother. For a time, life was more stable, but when Bianca was only 9 years old, her grandmother passed away, leaving her to be shuffled between foster homes. At the age of 14, Bianca became pregnant. Her foster mother, who had initially planned to adopt her, was so disappointed by the pregnancy that she decided not to proceed with the adoption. Despite these setbacks, Bianca gave birth to her daughter Azaria, and at 5 months old, she and her mother returned to Austin. She enrolled at Crockett High School and juggled her studies while caring for a baby. During this time, she became close with a friend's parents, who eventually adopted her, providing her with a sense of stability and happiness she hadn't experienced before. At 17, Bianca found herself pregnant again, this time with a son she named TJ. Overwhelmed by shame, she kept the pregnancy a secret for 5 months. After giving birth, tensions began to rise in her adoptive home. Eventually, she left with her 2 children and sought refuge at LifeWorks, an organization supporting homeless and runaway youths. The 3 shared a single room that had a communal bathroom with another family. Not long after, Bianca secured an apartment through a housing program and began to find her footing. TJ's father provided some assistance by taking care of the children on certain weekends. Determined to improve her life, Bianca enrolled in college to pursue a degree in criminal justice, with aspirations of becoming a parole officer. By the age of 24, she had moved to Romulus, Michigan, and was attending Wayne County Community College with a new goal of becoming a nurse. She was working as a supervisor at the Earl of Sandwich restaurant at Detroit Metro Airport. Bianca was also expecting her 3rd child with her boyfriend, Jameer Mikhail Miller, a man with a long history of criminal activity. Regardless, Bianca remained a dedicated and loving mother. She was described as patient, kind, and devoted to her children, often FaceTiming with them while working night shifts. However, she was also dealing with depression at the time. On March 25, 2011, Bianca strangely vanished. According to Miller, the 2 had argued, and she left their apartment without her car or keys. Text messages were later sent to Bianca's mother from Bianca's phone, claiming she was leaving and would contact her when she arrived at her destination. One message indicated she was nearing Ohio, but with her car still at the apartment, it was unclear how she would have traveled. This led many to believe that Miller was using her phone to send the messages. In May 2023, Miller made headlines again, this time for the murder of Patrice Wilson, a 29-year-old nurse at Detroit Receiving Hospital. On May 13, 2023, Miller entered the hospital disguised with a wig, hat, and glasses. He waited for Patrice to finish her shift, then approached her as she got into her car. He shot her multiple times from the back passenger side before getting into the driver's seat and fleeing the scene. A few hours later, Patrice's car was discovered in Novi, Michigan, with her lifeless body in the trunk. The next day, Miller turned himself into authorities and admitted to the murder, revealing that Patrice had tried to tell him how to stop her bleeding before she died. On October 10, 2023, Miller pled guilty to second-degree murder as part of a plea deal and received a sentence of 35 to 60 years. To this day, it is unclear if Miller is considered a suspect in Bianca's disappearance and presumed death. Bianca stood 5 feet tall with short black hair and brown eyes. She had a heart tattoo with a colored design on her lower back above her buttocks and a sunflower with a crown tattoo on her wrist. She was believed to be wearing her work uniform at the time of her disappearance, which consisted of black pants, a white shirt, and size 6 shoes. Bianca went missing on March 25, 2011, and as of November 2024, Bianca's case remains unsolved. Candice Leanne Caffas was born on July 23, 1987, in Union Township, Pennsylvania. She was diagnosed with Prader-Willi syndrome, a rare genetic disorder known for causing various physical, mental, and behavioral issues. One of the most challenging aspects of the syndrome is an unrelenting feeling of hunger and thirst, which Candice struggled with daily. Her diet was strictly managed to ensure proper nutrition and to help maintain a healthy weight. Candice also faced developmental delays and required continuous supervision to ensure her safety. People with Prader-Willi syndrome can sometimes be cunning in their search for food, but Candice worked hard to manage her condition, supported by her parents, who helped her stay active. She did cardio exercises regularly and overcame childhood obesity with their guidance. Candice had a history of running away from home, often driven by her insatiable thirst or search for food due to her condition. On at least one occasion, she had been found near a body of water, a common behavior in individuals with Prader-Willi syndrome, whose thirst regulation can be impaired. In 2022, 34-year-old Candice lived with her parents in Meadville, Pennsylvania. Her parents and a long-term caregiver provided round-the-clock supervision to ensure her well-being. She was described as a kind-hearted individual who loved Halloween, crafting, and making blankets. On July 12, 2022, Candice ran away from home but returned a few hours later. Then, on the night of July 15th, sometime after 10 p.m., she climbed out of her bathroom window and was never seen again. When her parents woke up at 3:10 a.m. and realized she was gone, they reported her missing. When she left, she had $13 in cash and was last seen wearing a light purple t-shirt, orange shorts with a floral pattern, and purple and blue tennis shoes. Around 5:30 a.m., Candice was spotted by several witnesses near railroad tracks and State Game Lands 213 along Pennsylvania Highway 285 in Greenwood Township, about 5 miles from her home. This highway is not well lit and is surrounded by swampland, forest, and open fields. Initially, those who saw her thought nothing of it, assuming she was simply out for a walk. Unfortunately, a false tip directed the family to downtown Meadville, causing them to lose valuable time during the crucial initial search. This misdirection meant they missed following up on the confirmed sighting of Candice on Route 285, which connects Meadville to smaller, more rural communities. Candice's disappearance sparked a massive search effort involving drones, K-9 units, volunteers on horseback, ATVs, and numerous water searches. Despite these exhaustive efforts, not a single clue was found. Her family stated that Candice was not active online, had no social media, and never went out into the community alone, making it unlikely she was lured away by someone she met on the internet. In the past, her disappearances were typically driven by her search for food or impulsive behavior, and she had previously been found near water trying to drink. There were rumors that on the day she went missing, she had been told she couldn't go to the store to buy snacks, leading some to speculate that she might have left in frustration and unintentionally got lost. However, this has never been confirmed. Candice stood 4 feet 9 inches tall, weighed 95 pounds, and had blue or green eyes, dirty blonde hair, and blue framed glasses. Due to her condition, she had a distinctive petite stature, small hands and feet, and low muscle tone. She also lacked front teeth, which were removed due to medical complications. With the mental capacity of an 8 to 12-year-old, Candice was very vulnerable to strangers and would not have responded well to being called by name. She was known to be very skittish and likely would have run away or hidden if approached. Due to her condition, without her managed diet and exercise routine, she likely would have gained weight over the past 2.5 years. Her family and the community continued to search for answers, hoping for a breakthrough in her case. If she were alive, she would now be 37 years old. Candice went missing on July 12, 2022, and as of November 2024, she has not been located, and this case remains unsolved. Diamond Bynum was born on February 18, 1994, and was diagnosed with Prader-Willi syndrome, a rare genetic disorder that brings numerous physical, mental, and behavioral challenges. This condition caused Diamond to experience an insatiable hunger and developmental delays, giving her the mental capacity of a 5 to 7-year-old. Despite her struggles, Diamond's gentle spirit shone through. She adored her 2-year-old nephew, King Walker, and proudly considered herself his babysitter. In 2015, then 21-year-old Diamond lived with her father, Eugene, and stepmother, Suzanne, in a house in Gary, Indiana. The family had recently moved there from Hammond, Indiana, where Diamond had been familiar with the community and neighbors who often looked out for her. She had a known habit of sneaking food from local restaurants and hiding in bathrooms to eat, which is a common behavior that's associated with Prader-Willi syndrome. However, in Gary, she didn't have the same support network and was very unfamiliar with the area. Whenever family members had birthdays, Diamond would always receive a small gift. For her father's upcoming birthday, she had asked her grandmother for scented soaps and chocolate milk. However, her grandmother would never be able to surprise her with the gifts she bought because a day before Eugene's birthday, on July 25, 2015, she strangely went missing. The day started out as usual, with King's mother leaving him in the care of Diamond's stepmother, Suzanne, while she went to attend a class in Chicago. After putting King down for a nap, Diamond lay down next to him. At some point, Suzanne, who had also fallen asleep, awoke to find both of them gone. Suzanne rushed outside, scanning the nearby streets for any sign of them, but found nothing. Panicking, she called Eugene at work, who immediately returned home. After a brief search around their neighborhood, the couple called the police and reported them missing. As the hours passed and night fell, their fear intensified. Eugene worried that someone might have abducted his daughter and grandson. Diamond moved slowly due to a limp caused by a bowed and deformed left leg, which made it difficult for her to walk more than a short distance. Witnesses later reported seeing Diamond and King at a nearby McDonald's. The employees didn't notice anything out of the ordinary and were unaware of Diamond's disabilities. Unfortunately, this would be the last confirmed sighting of the pair. The McDonald's staff stated that no one else was seen with the pair while at the restaurant, deepening the mystery of where they could possibly have gone. Gary, Indiana is known for its many abandoned buildings and vacant lots, more than 15,000 at the time. The city was also experiencing a heat wave, raising concerns that Diamond, who might have been disoriented, sought shelter from the sun. Over the following days, police, volunteers, and search teams scoured each building in a 24-block radius, but no trace of Diamond or King was found. Canine units managed to track their scent to the Go Low gas station at the corner of 11th and Clark Road, where the trail went cold. Authorities issued a silver alert for Diamond and King, noting that Diamond likely required medical attention as she had left without her prescription medication. Many questioned why it took until the end of August for this alert to be issued, but no clear explanation was provided. The family faced harsh criticism and baseless accusations online, despite their full cooperation with law enforcement. It is important to note that police never considered any family members suspects in the case and publicly stated that they had been ruled out as persons of interest. Diamond had access to a tablet and a cell phone, but both were left behind when she went missing. According to Eugene, Diamond couldn't read and mainly used her devices to play games, making it highly unlikely that she was communicating with anyone online. King Rajan Walker was just 3 feet tall at the time, with brown eyes and black hair. He was last seen wearing a blue t-shirt and red shorts. Diamond stood 4 feet 8 inches tall, weighed 240 pounds, and had brown eyes and black hair with gold highlights. Her teeth were misaligned, and she walked with a noticeable limp, usually keeping one arm bent. She was last seen wearing a white shirt and either blue or purple pants. Diamond and King disappeared on July 25, 2015, and as of November 2024, Diamond would be 30 years old and King would be 11. Despite extensive search efforts and investigations, their whereabouts remain unknown, and their case is still unsolved. On June 28, 1988, the skeletal remains of a woman were discovered partially buried in the desert of Pinal County, Arizona. The grave was found in a remote area along State Route 79 and appeared to be a clandestine burial site. Investigators estimated that the woman had died within a year before her remains were found, and her death was determined to be the result of strangulation. Initial examinations revealed that the woman was between 50 and 99 years old. Alongside her remains, investigators found dentures and a housecoat with snaps running up the front. Her skeletal analysis showed signs of osteoporosis, compression fractures, and a curved spine, which would have given her a hunched posture. With no leads or identification, she became known as Florence, Junction, Clandestine, Grave, Jane Doe, 1988, and for the next 36 years, her true identity remained a mystery. Years later, using advancements in DNA technology, she was identified as Evelyn Gawan Lees, who was known to friends and family as Dottie. She was born on September 11, 1898, in Salt Lake City, Utah, and was living in Scottsdale, Arizona at the time of her death. She was a widow after her husband, Earl Lees, died in 1956 after 36 years of marriage. In a startling discovery following her identification, authorities found that someone had been collecting Dottie's pension for an entire decade after her murder. Dottie was never reported missing, and no death certificate was ever filed for her, further suggesting that whoever was cashing her pension checks may have played a role in her death. Investigators believe they know the responsible party, but they have since passed away. Even after 36 years, the truth about what happened to Dottie and who was responsible for her death is still a mystery, and as of November 2024, this case remains unsolved. Khamya Reddick, known to her friends and family as Maya, was born on September 14, 2008. In 2023, 15-year-old Maya lived in Opa-locka, Florida, and had recently entered a relationship with an older man. That man began grooming Maya and even introduced her to the Ashley Madison website, a platform used by adults looking to have an affair. Then, on February 14, 2023, Maya disappeared and was quickly reported missing. Sadly, it's believed that she willingly ran away with this unknown man. Approximately 5 weeks after her disappearance, Maya's case was featured on Ring's Neighbors app through a partnership with the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. This initiative helps raise awareness by reaching millions of users and providing real-time assistance to locate missing children and bring them home. Her mother believes she is still alive and has begged for her to come home. Maya is described as 5 feet 4 inches tall, with black hair and brown eyes. If she is still alive, she would now be 16 years old. Unfortunately, there are very few details available in this case. Maya went missing on February 14, 2023, and as of November 2024, she has not been located, and this case remains unsolved.